So guys, I have a special guest with me here today on this video. I'm really excited here to be with Ben. Ben is a big time flipper in Utah and also several other markets across the country. And he is gonna be giving you, the wholesaler, the perspective from a cash buyer. So we're gonna have a really awesome conversation about this really important topic for you as a wholesaler to understand how to source and bring deals to cash buyers. All that and more coming up.
This video is brought to you by Flipster, the nation's #1 real estate software, with tools for finding, funding, and flipping houses. Check it out now at getflipster.com.
If you're new here, I'm Jerry Norton. I make millions of dollars a year flipping houses, and here on my channel, I teach you how to do the same. So if you want to be a flipping genius like me and live your dream life, subscribe to my channel and watch my videos. Dude, it's awesome to have you. We're sitting out on my patio. You're visiting Puerto Rico. And when you told me you were coming to Puerto Rico, I was like, we gotta get together, we gotta sit down and hang out, and we gotta do a video because I'm just so excited for everything you're doing in the business, your success. I see some of your deals on Facebook, these amazing renovations. It's just a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here. I wish you guys were here seeing this view, and there's an abundant mentality here, so I'm just happy to be enriched to be here.
So Ben, you buy a lot of deals from wholesalers. You're a flipper, you're doing several deals consistently every single month. Some of these are massive projects, big rehabs, pushing into $1 million deals sometimes. So what I want to ask you and have you share with everybody listening, we have a lot of wholesalers, aspiring wholesalers. There's a bit of intimidation sometimes, like, man, I don't know what to say to the cash buyer. I don't know what they want. I don't know what information I should be bringing them. So I want to have this conversation around the perspective from your side of the table, which is I'm cash buyer. And one thing that I love you have, this abundant mindset, is you said this off camera, and I say this all the time. You count the money in your pocket, not the money in the wholesaler's pocket. What that means is you're interested in deals that fit your criteria, deals that fit your numbers. If someone brings a deal that fits, you could care less what that wholesaler is making because it's all about your criteria, your formula, and your numbers. So talk about that for a minute because I think that's really important for wholesalers to understand. When they bring you a deal, you're looking at your numbers, and that's what's most important.
Absolutely. There was an example I was just telling Jerry, and it was a really good friend that I had. And what was fantastic for him was we were sitting down at the table. I was buying this deal in the middle of Salt Lake, and I found out at the closing table that he made $80,000 on that deal. And he was so worried. Yeah. He was so worried because when he sat down, he was all like nervous, and he knew I was gonna see the numbers. Yeah. When I saw the number he was making, I reached over to him and I said, dude, congratulations, man. That's awesome. I had the numbers that I needed. He got the number that was really good for him, and he came back and he says, Ben, I named 2 trips after you in Mexico. The first one, Ben, the last one, Care, and we did countless deals after that made me a ton of money, and it's that type of abundant mentality that you need on both sides of the table. As a wholesaler, who do you want to be involved with? You're involved with these individuals more than you're involved with probably your own family. Yeah. And so, right? And so with these countless hours that you have day in and day out with these type of individuals, surround yourself with the individuals that will want to put money in your pocket, knowing that they can produce and provide on their side as well. And that's fantastic. And that's something it's okay to expect that.
So you really look to build a really good relationship with these wholesalers in your markets. You want a relationship with them.
Absolutely. Like I was telling you before, like it's been numerous times where I've sat down with these wholesalers, these guys coming in, investors, whoever it may be, and I say, what do you need to live on this year? Some of them comment with different numbers. 75,000, my nuts, 100, 150,000. It's hard to even live off of that nowadays, right? And so 200,000, I'm like, great. Whatever that number is, I want to be your provider for that. Everyone else would just be a cherry on top. Let's do this. I'm not going to be your buyer once every 5 years. Yeah. I'm going to buy 5 deals for you this year. Let's make that happen. And then what do? Your question was, well, if you're first and starting in this game, first of all, congratulations. Yeah. Like, you're awesome. Yeah. You're on the right foot. You're stepping into the darkness, which is scary. But guess what? That's where life starts, on the other side of fear. So welcome. Life's going to be fun and interesting. Not going to be easy, but it's going to be fun and interesting. Here's what I would do if I were you. If you're starting into wholesaling, I would come in to the flippers, to the investors, and say, hey, what do you need? Give me your numbers. And if you don't know, that's the perfect intro, because they will tell you what you need to know, right? And
I refer to this, Ben, as profiling your cash buyer. So things like, what's your area? What kind of formula do you like to be in? What types of houses do you want? What types of houses do you not want? And then when you really understand your cash buyer, and then you only bring them the things they want to see, the last thing a cash buyer wants to do is you bring them stuff and they're like, that's not what I want, that's not what I want, that's not what I want. You're wasting their time, right? So that really brings in that relationship component a lot when you can understand your cash buyer and then actually bring them deals that they want.
I love that. Yeah. And before we jumped on this, you said something really inspiring that I love. I'm going to implement that in what I'm doing, and this will help the audience. Yeah. A lot of you guys maybe haven't flipped. You're getting into wholesaling, and it's hard for everybody. Like if I move here to Puerto Rico, I will need to learn the material costs, the different costs. They're just variables here, right?
And everybody rehabs a little differently.
Totally, right? And so that's something that's a curveball for you potentially, right? If it's not your phenomenon, like that's incredible. But it probably is. So what you had mentioned that I absolutely love is you're saying, well, what I can do is what I do is maybe you lend some of your contractors out to these individuals that say, hey, I got a key, I got like
access,
an access, a really good potential deal. Do you mind if Jose or Bobby or Billy, your contractor, comes with me? And hey, if he comes with me, you got first dibs on this deal. I just want to make sure that my numbers are square with your numbers for rehab. I would be more than happy to lend my guy for an hour or two to get that deal first and to make sure my numbers are right. That's what you guys can do and create that opportunity for them to get first dibs on the deal, as well as you learning how to run those numbers.
Yeah. Now, caveat to that strategy, you have to have a good relationship with your cash buyer, because what we're talking about here is having your cash buyer help you know the right number, so that way now you can negotiate and contract with that seller at the right price the first time, right? So like you said, a lot of new wholesalers, they're so intimidated, they don't know the rehab number, what is the right buy number with my seller? Well, if you've got a relationship with a Ben and he's willing to share and he wants you to win and he wants a deal that meets his number, he'll help you get to that number, and Ben will say, look, let's send my guy out with you. Let's go look at this. Here's my number. And now when you know your buyer's number, your cash buyer's number, now they can go contract with the seller for whatever, build their fee in. And again, you don't care. You know they did all the work to get that lead with that seller. That seller's motivated. They want to dump that property. You want it. It fits what you want. Help your wholesaler. He goes and contracts now at the right number, builds his fee in. Everybody wins. And that's just a really strong relationship-driven way to do business as wholesaler and cash buyer. There's another technique that I find really helpful is when you do bring your deals to your cash buyers and they let them teach you. So when you run your numbers and you're like, you know what, I think the rehab's 40. And then you take that deal to your cash buyer and he's like, man, you're off, it's 60. Ask him, say, why is it 60? Help me understand how it's 60. Can I see your breakdown? Can I see your rehab estimate budget that you have? Because cash buyers are running the numbers, right? They're saying, no, it's 60, that's my numbers. And then learn, okay, well, I put 10 on the kitchen, really it's 15. Okay, now next time I'll do that better. You want to get good at understanding a cash buyer's criteria and their numbers. Wholesalers get so lazy, they just want to focus on lead gen and acquisitions and talking to sellers and their scripts. And I think a big area where they miss the boat is really understanding, how does a cash buyer look at this deal? How are they looking at repairs? How are they looking at ARV? And the better I can get at understanding those numbers, then the more successful I'm going to be at bringing deals that work.
In wrestling, I coached for a long time. I couldn't teach desire to my athletes. Yeah. And I would recruit and I would hire and I would bring on the athletes that would be willing to do over technique. The ones where I said, hey guys, 20 push-ups, let's go. And even the best technical guys maybe just got away with 20 push-ups.
Yeah.
But it was the guys that showed up and did the 25 push-ups because they knew that at the end of the tournament, where were the medals, the gold medals going to? The top of the podium, there was one guy at the top of the podium that was getting that gold medal.
You can't teach drive. Like, you guys have to dig down deep and get that. And wholesaling and flipping, it takes a certain person to really do that well. You got to be willing to take rejection, make mistakes. There's that risk and there's some unknowns about the business all the time. But if you just really plow into it and you make that commitment and just go for it, put in the work, I think the mechanics of it are so basic to understand that really if you just put a lot of passion and drive behind that, you're going to be successful. It's going to be an amazing adventure for you, and it's going to be extremely profitable. So let's go get it. Go chase it, guys. Let's make this happen. Thank you for all you do, Ben. Really appreciate you guys. I'm going to put Ben's information. He's sharing a lot of his journey, a lot of his deals he's doing. It's really fun to watch and super motivational. I love everything that you say and do and share. So I'll put some of his information below so you can kind of follow him and see his world. But again, thank you, Ben, and let's get you out here to Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys on the next video.
God bless you guys.